Welcome to this tutorial on YAML basics for Kubernetes configuration files. In this video, you'll learn the fundamentals of YAML syntax and how to structure Kubernetes manifests. Whether you're just starting with Kubernetes or need a refresher on YAML, this guide will help you understand how to write clean and effective configuration files for your Kubernetes deployments. YAML stands for YAML Ain't Markup Language. It's a recursive acronym that emphasizes what YAML is not. YAML is a human-readable data serialization format, which means it's designed to represent data in a way that's easy for humans to read and write. This makes YAML perfect for configuration files in Kubernetes. Unlike complex markup languages, YAML uses simple indentation and intuitive syntax, making it accessible even for beginners working with container orchestration. Let's cover the essential syntax rules for YAML. First, YAML files end with either .yaml or .yml extension. Second, YAML is case-sensitive, meaning uppercase and lowercase letters are treated differently. Third, and this is crucial, indentation in YAML uses spaces only, never tabs. Using tabs will cause syntax errors. Finally, comments in YAML start with the hash or pound symbol. These comments are ignored by parsers and are useful for documenting your configuration files. YAML supports several fundamental data types. Key-value pairs are the most basic structure, where you have a key followed by a colon and its value. Lists or arrays are created using the dash or hyphen symbol, with each item on a new line. Nested structures allow you to create hierarchical data by indenting child elements under parent keys. Multi-line strings can be created using special operators like the pipe symbol, which preserves line breaks. These data types form the building blocks of all YAML configuration files. Every Kubernetes manifest file follows a standard structure with 4 essential fields. The API version field specifies which version of the Kubernetes API you're using for this resource. The kind field defines the type of Kubernetes object you're creating, such as pod, deployment, or service. The metadata section contains identification information like the object's name, labels, and namespace. Finally, the spec section, short for specification, describes the desired state and configuration of your Kubernetes object. Understanding these 4 fields is fundamental to writing any Kubernetes manifest. Here's a simple example of a pod manifest. We start with API version v1, which is the core API group. The kind is set to pod, indicating we're creating a pod resource. In the metadata section, we give it the name nginx-pod. The spec section defines our containers array with a single container named nginx, using the nginx latest image. This basic example demonstrates how the 4 essential fields work together to create a functional Kubernetes resource definition. Now let's look at a deployment manifest. The API version is apps/v1 because deployments belong to the app's API group. The kind is deployment. We name it nginx-deployment in the metadata. In the spec section, we specify 3 replicas, meaning Kubernetes will maintain 3 identical pods. The selector uses match labels to identify which pods belong to this deployment, in this case, pods with the label app equals nginx. Deployments provide more features than basic pods, including scaling and rolling updates. Let's conclude with some best practices for writing YAML files. Always use consistent 2-space indentation throughout your files. This maintains readability and prevents syntax errors. Include meaningful labels in your metadata section, as labels help organize and select resources in your cluster. Add comments for complex configurations to help others understand your intent. Finally, always validate your YAML syntax before deploying to avoid runtime errors. Tools like YAML linters can catch syntax issues early. Following these practices will help you write maintainable and error-free Kubernetes manifests.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.